Hi guys, warm welcome to vlog 5, Axing Anxiety in 10-ish with Dr. M and the fab guys over in Ireland, Galway at Book Hub Publishing. So today we're going to take H and I out of B.A.T.H.I.T, 7 Steps to Release and Axe Anxiety, and we're going to be taking the aspects of them. Obviously there's a lot more in the guide and there's a lot more to come in the 7 days program, but just as a snapshot, let's take H first, which the aspects we're going to take is happy tunes, and that's something that's also really important in terms of being able to change your state. Now, this isn't going to get to the root and completely solve your anxiety, but certainly it's a surface coping mechanism that you can layer in as well every day that just starts changing that habitual way that you've got used to of maybe feeling down or maybe feeling anxious. So it's kind of turning it around and putting something else again that's different in your neurology. So again, it's turning it round, it's turning around how you think, those thoughts that are triggered, and those emotions, and therefore how your body's physically responding. And ultimately, this is about changing the biochemistry of the brain. So those negative chemicals that send all those messages down through cortical connections to your body, to your adrenaline glands, your adrenal glands, that start producing adrenaline and triggered cortisol, that's the stress hormone in the body, and all the too much adrenaline that's causing you the actual anxiety harrowing symptoms. This is going to get rid of all those by changing that biochemistry to positive chemicals that we call endorphins and serotonin, all the things that antidepressants can give you and are designed to actually boost up, but we're going to do that naturally. So one way of doing this is actually through just normal music and the kind of music that you listen to, because say if you listen to quite, well, what I call death to the world music, it's very like heavy, or the lyrics are all about being depressed and bad things that happen in life, or even the language that's used. I won't repeat what I call the language, so I'll keep it clean, but it's kind of quite negative and makes you feel down. It's a good experiment to do this, to see how it actually changes in an instant how you feel in terms of music. So if you listen to something that is quite like drudgery or a bit down and kind of a bit depressing type of music, see how you feel, and then whether you like it or not, actually put something kind of more light-hearted on, like a good example is 60s soul music. That's good light-hearted music, or kind of very light-hearted pop music or dancey music, like disco music. That's kind of good, even as tacky music as you can get, that's like disco music. So things like Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive, or you've got, you know, your Diana Ross, your Tina Turner, Simply the Best, and also a really good one, a good soundtrack to have on that gets you motivated and upbeat, as cheesy as it may sound now, is the theme tune, the soundtrack to the Rocky music, the Rocky movie, which is great music. And you know, there's a reason why people actually do train to that at the gym, because it's upbeat, it's uplifting. So you know, that's the song like The Eye of the Tiger, that kind of music. If you listen to that in contrast to say something like rap music about all kind of shootings and bad things that go on in the world, or depressing kind of like songs about love, that things have gone wrong and relationships that have gone wrong, if you focus on the lyrics and the kind of beats of the music and you start taking notice of what you actually listen to, it's quite reflective of your mood and how you may feel. So that's an important thing to be aware of. But what I'm actually talking about in terms of changing the biochemistry of the brain is maybe looking at different musical tastes of what's actually more light-hearted, but also always having something on your phone, a particular song, a favourite song, but a song that gives you a very good memory, a good feeling, something that triggers instantly that memory of a feel-good, or something that's very comforting and calming. So sometimes I will put on something like swing music. So for example, a Robbie Williams Swing While You're Winning has some great songs on, just to be light-hearted, dancey, and they make you feel good. They give myself a comforting feeling because it triggers certain memories of a certain person, which is really nice and comforting and soothing. So if I hear that music, instantly I will feel more uplifted about something. So it really does work. And like I say, you can do experiments yourself with this in terms of, you know, that drudgery music to what's upbeat and uplifting, but it's important you find what helps you and what's comforting to you. So if you can even create a playlist whereby you have all positive songs on. So if maybe one morning you wake up and you feel in a certain state, you actually then put your playlist on, then it can instantly take you again into that different mood, that different state. But also if you're, say, going through or experiencing some anxiety attack bout, if you've got one song on your phone that takes you into that calming, comforting mode and it takes you straight back into a good memory, that's great to just whack on as your happy tune that will just help you and again change your state, because that's what it's about, dissolving the anxiety. Because although I'm all about roots and root analysis, which is really the only way to completely get rid of anxiety, we all know that there's certain things that can trigger things on a surface level that we also need to deal with. So changing your state there is very important, simply because it does change the biochemistry of the brain, which then affects the body and affects how we respond and how your body will help you then once you can create that change instantly of feeling better there. So it dilutes that horrible, nasty adrenaline and cortisol that's running through your body, causing you all those harrowing symptoms. Okay, now that's one aspect of H. So now we're going to take I, and that's what I have standing for imitation, which basically means modeling or copying a certain person that you feel, or their characteristics that you feel are very strong, very confident, and most importantly, carefree and just kind of funny. As somebody that's like never seems to have a care in the world, they're just very confident, and whatever happens, they seem to deal with it and they just seem to go on about their own business. So this could be somebody that you know, it could be somebody, a celebrity, it could be absolutely anybody that just is that kind of person that you might look up to and you might think, I'd really like to be that person, or how does that person function in that way? And what you need to then do is just imitate them, basically look carefully at their characteristics, almost model what they do. So how they respond to things, even their body language of how they look, what they do, what would they do in a certain situation, how would they respond to it? Because even if you just pretend to be that person, it will start to again change your neurology, change your state, and it will start to change the way you think. Because as I said, even if you're pretending to be that person, you're still making those neurological shifts in your brain, which then help you to think in that mode and feel differently, and therefore respond physically different. So what I say to this is put your X mask on. So whoever this person is, let's call them Mr. or Mrs. X. If you put Mr. or Mrs. X mask on when you go out, say, so you're actually pretending to be that person, almost as if somebody said, look here, there's an acting job. What I want you to do is for an entire week, put this mask on and you're going to be that person. So even pretending to be that person, put their shoes on, put their hat on, almost pretend to live their life, take on those characteristics, even their body language, their kind of tonality, what they go about saying to people. So if they're a chatty person, and it would be typical for them to go in a shop and start yap away and start conversation, almost even like if you're taking the mick, do it to really put that hat on and be that person, obviously in a poking fun in a positive good way, like what impressionists do with people. They don't mean to be nasty, it's just a little bit of fun because we're all different and we all express ourselves differently. So somebody, it would be absolutely easy to do me, because I say a lot of the time that's part of my language, I use expressive body language, so somebody would definitely take that on with myself, and probably using the eyes a lot. So if you were to take that on, you'd go out. So if you were pretending to be me for a little bit, you would talk in a certain way and you'd be expressive and you would definitely go into shops and yap away. However, if you was poking fun at that and that's what you were modeling and imitating, for sure you would feel definitely more confident when you actually go out, because that's how I am as a person, friendly, open, talkative, and confident in that sense. So you would then start to adopt that and you would make those neurological shifts. So pick a person who you would like want to be, or you look up to, or you think function well or seem really confident or always get good results. Choose that person and put that mask on for a week and see how different you actually feel. As I said, there's loads more tips in the book that goes through this, and there's lots of other aspects of every letter of B.A.T.H.I.T. But for now, take that on board. So go and create your happy playlist, or your, well, I have one, it's called Feel Good playlist. I have one all the time that I bop around to, so it helps generate all those good feel good endorphins, because they're just good to have running throughout your body, whether you need them or not, it's just good. But go and create that and take notice of the kind of music that you listen listen to? What are you actually, like we said with the internal story, what are you feeding into your mind? What kind of things are you listening to? And make it positive. So be aware of that, and also find that person that you want to put their mask on and go and imitate them. Just see how you feel, but you will, guaranteed, scientifically, be able to then change your biochemistry of the brain to change the physicality of the body, which will therefore change how you feel in terms of anxiety. And even though this is on the surface level and not always about the root, which, you know, from the analysis and everything else, that's the most important key, this will also definitely be able to change your state. So have a great day. Go and try that, go and experiment with that, and be free. And just remember the most important purpose in life, like we talked about in B, you know, big picture focus, blowout. What's most important to you? What's even more important than your anxieties? And so next time we'll be taking T, and I'll probably take the aspect of toolkit with that one, and maybe talk about a few other things that will be in a toolkit I have laid out in the 7 days anxiety book steps, and also in Out of Your Comfort Zone book, which is always a big help and has loads of anxiety busters and resilience builders. So take care, and I shall speak to you very soon.